Now this is the last topic of the term, Module 1.12, increase, decrease percentages and percentage profit and loss. Let's start with increasing. Let's say I bought a trouser for £15. And later on, the trouser went up in value by 15%. How would I calculate the new price? This is called increase. So first of all, I work out 15% of 15. So remember the table. I've got 15 here. 10% is 1.5. And 15%, so 5% will be 0.75. You add this up, 1.5 plus 0.75 will be 2.25. This is 15% of 15. But it went up by 15%. So all you have to do is add this figure to 15, which makes 17.25. And that is your answer. That means 17.25 means 15 plus an increase of 15%. We'll do some more examples. So I bought a car for, let's say, £3,000. And then it lost value by 15%. It lost value, it was a loss. Loss means if you lose value in a vehicle, it's also called depreciation. And if you increase in a value, it's called appreciation. So depreciation, 15%. So let's work out the 10%. 10% of 3,000 is 300, and 5% will be obviously half of the 10%, which makes 30. No, 150, sorry. So a hot day today is 36 degrees, so I'm not with it. So 300 plus 150 is 450. 450 is 15% of 3,000. But remember, it's a loss. That means you need to deduct 3,000, the 450 from the 3,000, which makes it 2,550. Does that make sense? We work out 15% of 3,000, which is 450, and you minus that 450 from 3,000, and in your new figure, when the car has lost value, the new figure is 2,550. Here, try this one from. A car is worth £4,000. I bought it, then after a year went up by 20%. What is the new value of the car? First of all, think 10% and 20%. First think, what is 20% of 4,000? 10% is 400, so double that to make 20%, which makes 800. That 800 figure must be added to the 4,000 to make it 4,800, and that's the new figure of the car once the value of 20% is added on to the original value. Let me explain it again. I got a car for £4,000. After a year, it goes up in value by 20%. So you work out the 20% of the original value, which is £800, and add it on top, which makes it 4,800. So here are a couple of questions, and I would like you to pause the video once I've written it, so that you can try at home. So we have a dress, costs £55. Yeah? And in the next year it goes down in value by 25%. Goes down. What's the new cost of the dress? Here's another one for boys. Cars, they love their cars. Cost £9,000. And in the next year after it went up by 55%. What's the new value of the car? All you do is work out the percentage of the original figure and either add it if it's increased or decrease it if it's a loss. Pause the video and try it. Okay, so let's go through the answers. 25% of 55. So that means dividing 55 by 4. Or half in 55 and half in it again. So let's just make this a bit smaller so that we can work it out. 55. If we half this number, half of 50 is 25, half of 5 is 2.5. You add it together, makes 27.5. Half it again. Half of 20 is 10, half of 7 is 3.5, and half of 0.5 is 0.25. So it becomes 13.75. This figure has to be taken away from 55. I'm not going to do it in front of you, but you get the point. You basically minus the 13.75 from 55, because remember the dress, it went down in value by 25%. Now, the cars is £9,000 and it's gone up by 55%. So let's work out that one. 9,000. It's gone up by 55%. So let's work out 50% and work out 5%. 50% of 9,000 is 4,500. And 5%, or 10% is 900, and half of that is 450. So you've got 4,500 plus 450, which is 4,950. And that figure is added to this figure, which makes it 13,950. And that's the end of module. Oh no, that's half of module 1.12. Just remembered I've got to do percentage profit and loss. So this is just half of the module. Let's go on to profit and loss. Percentage profit and loss. For example, John bought a bike for £120. It went down in value to £80. What is the percentage loss? That's what it's asking for, the percentage loss. Naturally it's a loss, it's not a profit, it's gone down. So what is the percentage loss? First thing you do is work out the difference. 120 minus 80 equals 40. So the difference is 40. So watch this formula. If you know this formula, memorize this formula, you'll never go wrong working out profit and loss. I call it the do method. I made this up myself. Difference divided by original. The do method. So difference is 40, yes? And the original is 120. When you cancel these fractions, you get 1/3. 1/3, as we know, is 33.3 recurring percentage. That's the loss. 33.3 recurring percentage loss. So you find the difference, which is 40, divided by the original, which is 120, which will give you a fraction of 1/3. And we've done this, convert fractions into percentages. 1/3 is 33.3 recurring. Recurring means it goes on forever, it doesn't stop, it's eternal. Here's another one. So a girl puts £250 into a bank, and then it goes up to £300 after a few years. She's got a good rate of interest. So again, what is the percentage increase in profit? The percentage increase, the percentage profit. Work out the difference. Do 300 minus 250 is 50. And the original price was 250. Cancel this. 1/5 equals 20%. So it went up by 20%. Here, try this at home. We have a cheap car, £500. It went down to £200. What was the percentage loss? We know the difference is 300. So try it now at home. Remember the do method. Okay, let's start. Difference is 300. 200, minus from 500. Original is 500. Cancel. 3/5 is 0.6, which means 60%. So it's gone down by 60%. It is very simple. Just learn the technique, the do method. Here we do a last one and we finish for the day. We have a cottage. And the cottage costs £35,000. This probably was in the 1970s. But it lost value because inflation was high, interest rates went up. So it went down to, say, 20,000. What is the percentage loss? Work out the difference. Remember the do method. The difference between the two is 15,000. Original is 35,000. Cancel the zeros. How many 5s go into each? 3 7ths. So 3 7ths. You work out 1/7, which is roughly 0.14, and then you times that by 3. And that's your percentage decrease, percentage loss. I'll do one more. Something is 20 pence a sweet, and in the next year it went up to 28 pence. What is the percentage profit? Well, the shopkeeper makes a profit naturally. He still buys it at a cheaper rate, but what is the profit? Do method, 8p is the difference, yes, 8 pence. Divided by original was 20. This is the original. So what numbers go into this? Divide 8 by 2, or you can divide it by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 2/5 is equal to 0.4, which is a 40% increase. So it's a 40% profit. That's the end of module 1.12. Please practice, watch the videos many times and practice the questions. If you understand the whole of module 1 to 1.12, you will have a solid foundation for even GCSE maths.